Hello there, everybody. Sorry we're a little late. We were shopping. We got stuck by a train. So we're just jumped in and like, hello there. Hello, Michelle. Hello, a little twisted. Hello, Bigfoot 911. I love that name. And hello there, Mary. How you doing, Mary?
Doing wonderful. How's everybody this evening?
All right. We got Tristan in the house. We got Kathy A. We also got the Daily Dose, which we're going to go over today, the Daily Dose. What's up, Scott? Nice to see you there, buddy. Nice to have you there. So, hi, Mary and Grizzly. Hello there. Hey, Bigfoot. So, tonight, I thought we'd talk about one of the topics that people don't understand is how things go down through your heritage lines. And what do we call that?
A generational curse.
Now, it's interesting because we talk about generational curses and people really don't believe in them. But if you ever go back and look at your lineage line, right? We'll call it that for now. And you look at people that got tortured, and you look at the generations about disfigurement, people that got their legs got shot off in the Civil War, amputated, what happened to the other generations down the line? They got their legs amputated as well. I mean, does that really happen, Mary?
It sure does. When it comes to the generational curses, and it is very much a real thing, and the Bible even warns us of it if, again, you take it back and reference it to the biblical times. Um, People could do what is considered a covenant or a blood covenant, and they could literally place a curse on the future generations to go. And so people struggle with these types of ideas, but it is very much true. And you can start seeing when it comes through a family line certain issues that plague over and over and over, whether it be addiction, whether it's financial problems and being poor, whether they have massive headaches, they all have certain types of cancers, they all have heart attacks, they all have depression, they all have mental illness. Guess what? Where do you think it came from? If it's, one random person that has it, it's probably not a generational curse. But if it's something, addiction problems is a very strong one that runs. And so trauma, abuse, all of these things all correspond with that. And it just keeps going and going and going until somebody actually steps up to break it.
Have you ever had that black cloud that just follows you? You ever had that black cloud that follows somebody around that you know that it's like, man, somebody just cannot catch a break? Well, you ever know somebody that had to have something removed on their body? For an example, let's talk about somebody that did something back in the old times and they did something that was sexual in nature. What did they do to the men, right? So now, generations later, men in that generational line have problems with body parts and they're getting them amputated or pieces of it removed. How can that be explained?
So, if you look back, even if you go into like medieval torture and different types of techniques, you can actually see some of the stuff on the physical. So, like each generation, when it happens, like it may have been like a man and he got tortured and his area got removed, or certain things, making them into like what would be considered a eunuch or something of that nature. Well, then keeps going, family line keeps going. They start having problems down there. Something happens. They get cancer. They have to have surgery. They have to remove it. It comes out and it will come through. If someone was shot violently or stabbed or whatever, tortured on the certain devices, they were crushed. Could be disfigurement of the head, like they had the things that come down and squeeze their head until they die. You could even see how it plays out and starts coming out in today's generation, whether it's like comes out in skin issues. It could come out in this weird mark, birthmark, stuff of that nature.
Birth defects.
Birth defects, absolutely. And so until someone actually steps up and recognizes what is going on with the family lineage line, someone has to break it and release that covenant so they can actually move forward, so it will not continue to affect each generation. Now, sometimes it can get lesser and lesser, but depending on the covenant, some people it gets worse and worse as they keep going and progressing.
So the thing is on that is, for example, right? You look at people that has cancer that runs through the family and so forth. But you look back in the old days, they say, I curse you and every family member that's born after you for generations to come for what you did to me and my family. Well, guess what? That actually happens back in the old day. Now I don't think we curse people today unless you're a witch doctor or a witch or practice voodoo or whatever type of magic, but it actually happens. And we see this not only with us, but we see it passed down also to our children. Scott says, I have a crazy red mark on my right shoulder. Sometimes it's super red, sometimes it's just skin. Well, how do you know it wasn't an old injury from an old fight or an old war that you were in that you fought in a past life? And that's the thing. It is. It's very interesting, a little twisted. But a lot of people don't think about that. It's a bad luck. Oh, it's a black cloud that I have over my head, or they or she or he has over their head. But it's real, and it does happen. And if you look at biblical reference on it and go back and read the Bible, it will also explain to you how to break those curses and how to pray on them. But if you stop and think, and if you look at your life, why did this happen? Why did this happen to them or her or him or me or us or my family? Look back and try to go back and trace what else happened to the prior generations prior to you. Usually today, we're not as good as our grandparents were keeping track of that. But somewhere in an old Bible, hopefully, there is a lineage line that will show you who had what, who died of what, and what not. And if not, you can go to where to look up the statistics.
You mean like the records?
Yeah,
like
for death and everything.
DNA, like you could go out and start ancestry DNA. Sometimes they'll have the birth records where you can go and actually see what people died from. And if you track back on the history, there's some of those areas where you can find stuff of that.
So I'm actually going to do a DNA test to show me, since I was had cancer before, what cancer am I going to be risk at, and what cancer is going to take me out. Probably is going to make me die from when I get to that age because of what genes and so forth. That's how far technology has come. And it's not to know what I'm going to die from. It's what to get ahead of, to have pre-treatments in plan and pre-screenings in plan. So if it does come, I'm ahead of the 8 ball and not behind the 8 ball. So it is very fascinating. And something else we want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, real quick. We're kind of shifting gears. It is fascinating, a little twisted. It is. I had to do a lot of soul searching when they asked me if I wanted to take the test. And I didn't hesitate. Within 15 seconds, I said, heck yeah. And you had to go through counseling and everything else before you get the test kit sent to you. Because it can actually change your life to know what you're going to die from and possibly when. So, but from our family to yours, Scott says, my mother says she died of cancer before 50 and she died at 49.
Sorry to hear that.
And I'm sorry to hear that, but people know, and that's the thing. But from our family to yours, I just want to let you know, from all of our viewers, and how we grew as a network, and we're continuing to grow and add more shows and branch out. I just want to say, from what you all have done and done for us as a family, we are actually going to launch our pepper sauce. It's called Bigfoot Outlaw Peeping Pepper Sauce. It'll be here in the next week or so. That's the label. I'll put it out there on Facebook. So we'll be shipping and selling that at events and conferences, and selling it and shipping it from here as well. So thank you, everybody. We greatly appreciate everybody's support. And you don't believe how your little donations help from YouTube, the dollars here and there, and it helps pay for everybody, because we don't charge anybody that broadcasts on our network. Mary and I pay it forward out of our pocket. We don't charge any of the hosts, co-hosts, any fees at all, and I refuse to charge them. But it gives us an opportunity to pay for everything, and we took the money out of our own pocket, and we're going to expand the Bigfoot Outlaw. It's all natural, 0 calories for the ladies. Watching your waistline, because man, I can walk by a piece of cake and it's like, bam, 5 pounds right there, Grizzly. Bam, walk around another piece of pie. It's like, that's 3 pounds. It's like, what the hell? I mean, I can look at it, and that's 150 calories just by smelling it. But anyways, that's enough of that. But I just wanted to share that because Mary, what do you think about the peeping hot sauce?
I love it. They did great on our formulation, and it was exactly how we wanted it. It is delicious. Just so you know, I am extremely picky about certain things and foods, and it's wonderful. If you like pepper sauce, this is one that you would definitely want to have in your house for food and stuff. It is amazing. Even my oldest child, who is extremely picky with certain things, absolutely loves it. I was very pleased. He's ate a whole bunch of our samples.
Yeah, and the good thing is, if you don't know the difference between pepper sauce and hot sauce, it still has the flavor. It has more flavor and has just a little bit of heat. It's not like, oh, good dang, what are you doing, Grizzly? You're killing me with this hot sauce, baby. Oh, my God, I can't wait to go to the bathroom. No, it's nothing like that, ladies and gentlemen. But it does got a good little kick to it. It's very mild. But it's like, oh, my God, Grizzly, you got so much flavor coming out of the pepper sauce, and Bigfoot is peeping at you on the side of the bottle. So that's what we call it, Bigfoot Outlaw, peeping pepper sauce. But anyways, but not only that, we're going to be launching some barbecue sauce. We're working on some rubs, and we're also working on what kind of other pepper sauce?
We've got a chipotle.
Chipotle! Buenos dias, senorita!
Grande. And then we also have a peach barbecue sauce that is in formulation.
Oui, oui. That means French. That means yes, yes.
The first one, Twisted, hopefully will be here within another week. Week and a half, hopefully. So. Yeah.
So, but we're real excited, and we're very thankful for all of our viewers, and thankful for all of our lifelong viewers that we have, and our loyal viewers. And it really means a lot to Mary and myself. And we greatly appreciate, everything that you do, and not just watching, but giving us feedback, buying any products off of us. It just goes right back in to bring more material to you, more shows and other opportunities for other people that have a voice that can come on our network and channel and broadcast. And we greatly appreciate it. So, somebody said to me, last time they donated on YouTube, hey, it's only $3 or $4 or $2. But you don't understand, ladies and gentlemen, that was $2 or $3, $4, $1 here and there. That stuff's add up over a month's time. And, time's tough, and we greatly appreciate it. And I got a big heart, and I help people as much as I can. And don't get me wrong. And some of the co-hosts and hosts on their shows, when we sit down and explain to them, Mary and I, how much we spend, they're like, you spend what? Are you serious? What's wrong with you? And it's like, yeah. And we do, and we don't begrudge that. So we just want to say thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts to you all. And I'm very appreciative. And I know I haven't been on everybody's show. I know we've been real busy and stuff. And I just wanted to take a moment to say that. And I'm very honored to know each and every one of you guys, and especially you, Bigfoot 911. I think about you all the time. I look at your post, especially when you show me your feet when you're cutting your toenails. He just laughed, by the way. But anyways, but no, I do. I love everybody in the community, and it's a great organization, and I really appreciate that. And if y'all ever need anything, always reach out. We're here to help you. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's good. Can you mute for a second? I'm going to yell for you.
Yeah. But we just want to take time. We just want to take time and say that. And now back to your regular scheduled program and action. So,
come on, Bubby.
Somebody wants to say hello before we get started. Let's see if he can pop his little face in on a green screen.
We have a future YouTuber here. Come on, babe.
Look at him. Ah! I'm a ghost.
Come on up. Look. No, look that way. No.
Look, he's a scared ghost.
Guys, this is my youngest. This is Edison. He has been wanting to be on the podcast and wanted to come in and say hi to everybody in the Bigfoot Outlaw family. So sit down. There you go.
All right. So now.
Say hi.
All right. Say hi. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So now, a little twist, we appreciate everything. I know Scott's like, I like my Grizzly. Where's he at? You know, I have there for a while. I was so sick for like 2.5 weeks. It was awful. And Bigfoot 911 saying hello to you.
Look, you got a Bigfoot 911.
But no, we just want to take time and say thank you because I never can say thank you enough. And I really do appreciate you guys.
Michelle, say hi, Michelle.
So, hi. All right now. Hey, Trista. See, she's saying hi, Edison.
They're all saying hi. Look.
So.
Hi.
All right. So yeah. So now, but for an example, for people that have a third eye, right? And I was talking to a young woman the other night, and she was like, I was at a grocery store, and I looked at this guy, and my third eye opened up, and he was kind of disfigured, you know, in a way. You can tell he had some birth defects or whatnot, Grizzly. And she said, my third eye opened up and I can see the past lives through the generations that other people that had the same disfigurement. And it went back to where he was tortured back in the medieval times for a crime he did in one of those devices. So when you stop and think about that, that speaks tremendous words. And you look at the judges today in a court of law, they would say, I sentence you to 30 life sentences. Then when you get done with that, I sentence you to death again. And then before that or after that, you're going to spend another 1,000 years, you know, in prison, and you're going to serve. And you're like, why in the world, you know, are they saying these? Because you're not going to live past 100 most of the time, anyways. Everybody else dies before they're 64, right? But they're getting these 1,000, 2,000 year sentences. Generational curses. Stop and think about that. It actually does. Hey, Lorna. So, yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, no, I take PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App.
He was saying, where's it at on the thing? I think.
If you go to my YouTube channel, it's out there. And I can actually... Let's see here. I think I can hit a button somewhere. But, you know, and because somebody asked me that about last year, about why are these judges spending all the long life sentences that are 10 times 50 life sentences and so forth. So, but that's what it is. And it's very interesting because these judges think, you know, the same thing. You know, if you do come back and reincarnate, you're going to serve out your life sentence again, and you're going to go through the whole hell process over and over. So it's very interesting to see that in the court of law, and that just started in the past 15 years, I think. You see it on a lot of the big crime cases and a lot of the big court cases on TV. It's very interesting. So, what do you think about that, Mary?
I am a firm believer in what you were saying. What he's talking about, I have actually experienced some of the same things where I would be interacting with somebody, and all of a sudden my third eye would open up and I would get a view into what happened in the past or someone from their past in the family. And it's kind of freaky when you actually see what caused it. And again, even though it's freaky, God blessed me with that ability. So I can see a lot when I have interacted and talked with people. And so the thing about it is, when it comes to a generational curse, most people are not aware of what was placed on their lineage line. So that's the first step, is identifying that covenant. And then you have to have somebody that wants to actually step up and break it. And so that's the next hardest step, is somebody that is willing and determined to be the breaker, basically the chain breaker, because being a chain breaker isn't always that is a very high calling for a family. And it's not an easy one at all by any means. When you are trying to break these curses, it places so many different things, not only spiritually, but mentally, emotionally, physically, the amount of effort and energy that they have to do to go and put in to break that curse. And sometimes it may not break in their lifetime. It might be the next generation after them. They may still have to live out depending on what was placed on it. And that can be kind of scary sometimes if you start looking into it and actually referencing it back. It amazes me when I have been around people and something like that will happen, or I go up and I see there's certain injuries that they have. They have a deformity in their foot. They've got hammer toes. Well, guess what? Those hammer toes was because back in the medieval, they put you in that boot and broke your toes to somebody, and it's now keeps coming out. Or, they have a bad knee and they have to they're getting it replaced, and you see all of the scars on the knee from their surgery, and then you match it back and you look at medieval torture devices and it's the exact same marks. It's I mean, I sat when this started happening to me, when I was getting those impressions and seeing that, I thought I was absolutely crazy. But then I kept getting all this information. I started researching, and I was literally going back and piecing it back to medieval torture and certain types of techniques over all these thousands of years. And it literally matches to a T some of the same things. Even medical procedures that we do today matches the exact same patterns, scar patterns, how they would have placed when they crush your knee or your foot, or if you got in the chair, or whatever, the hanging types, certain when they put you on the chair and they'd strap you and heat it up and burn you, like certain marks, like psoriasis marks comes out in certain areas on people, and it's literally the same thing because they got tortured and burned on the chair and held down, and it hits the same spots. Or they do the boil, where they take the thing and they throw the hot oil and stuff like that. You can literally see that. The head crusher, there's certain things, the jaw where they break, you have people that in the sexual regions where something goes wrong, or they split, or something gets torn in labor. A woman, she gets ripped in half, and guess what? That was probably the pair from back in the day when they went in and ripped her in half, and it's now coming out again. This is how these come out. Just because it happened, 500 years ago from a device, well, guess what? You're still playing it out because it hasn't been broke. And every woman in that generation has a hard hard labor, and they all rip and they tear and they have a terrible labor. Well, guess what? It's because someone had it back then and they haven't broke it. And so it's coming out that way. It'll come out, the same injury will come out, but it may not be in the exact same way, but it'll be very similar. That's how you identify this. And so breaking the curse, or the generational curse, is a very specific way. And when you're breaking these, you have to set that intention, and the mind changes that and declare it over yourself, your family, any future generations. And you literally have to get down and beg God and beg for forgiveness for anybody that placed that. And I declare that this covenant, this curse that has been placed over me is now broke. And you have to declare it with all of your heart and all of your mind. And you have to have a connected, your third eye, your spiritual eye has to be connected with your heart. That's why they talk about the eye of the heart. That's where that comes from. It is an actual connection. And if you are disconnected, if you have energy blocks, if you have trauma, if anything is not balanced in that area that you haven't worked on, it's not going to put out to be able to break it until that is solid. You have to have that. That is part of it.
And what's the name of that movie where everybody gets a curse and they die? What was the name of it? They had like 2 or 3 series. They all have freak accidents.
Final Destination?
Yeah, Final Destination. Remember that movie? So think of it like that. And somebody's asking, what happens if you don't know you have a generational curse? How do you fight that?
That's where you come to people to help identify it. And again, the ways that you're really going to look into this is you really got to follow back the line. You know, if it's a one-off or something, might be all right. But you can always pray on it and ask for God to give you discernment of where and what is causing this. A lot of times it'll come to you if you're praying and meditation. It'll come in forms of dreams. If you ask to be opened up for your gifts, whether it's the spiritual eye or spiritual ears, and ask God for the wisdom to show me what is going on and give me the wisdom to break this. And you have to do that, and you have to declare it over you and your family line for God to come back in, because when that has been placed on your family, it has literally been placed by the enemy to keep you away from him and keep you in the dark, so you do not recognize what is going on with you and your family members.
Now, the question is it, would it be on the female or mother side of the line?
Either.
It can be on either side. It can be on the father or the mother.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter. A generational curse doesn't seek gender. Depends on how it was placed and who placed it.
That's right. And it could have been somebody that tried to sell their soul for fame with the devil. It happens. And if they did that, and they may have agreed that it's okay as long as you give me this in my lifetime, I don't care how it affects my family members. And then it is what it is, and something got placed on them, whatever it was, and it just keeps happening over and over and over. And so that's where now we're seeing all these people that are called what they call the light workers. That's what all the light workers part of their life purpose is. We're the generational curse breakers for us and for others, because we've had to do this, and we have to be the one to step up to bring people back into the light, because this world has gotten worse and worse because of all of this, because it keeps exacerbating with each generation.
Yeah, it really does. And a lot of people's like, how do you know what a generational curse is? And like Mary says, you got to ask for discernment. And you got to ask God and pray and meditate to show me what it is, and let me know how to fix it.
And God will answer you, whether it be you're sitting there and you pray, and then all of a sudden, like, again, we'll reference back, like ads keep popping up, certain music, you can get dreams. You can actually get an impression that quickly. You could be sitting outside with the Bible, and all of a sudden, wind hits it and the pages start going, and it opens up, and you look at a passage, and it's exactly what you needed to hear. He will answer you, but you have to seek him. And that's where most people really struggle with the fact they're just like, well, I've got time. I'll focus on God later. You don't have time. You have to do it now, because tomorrow is never guaranteed.
That is correct. It never is. You don't have any questions so far? Questions, comments? Are you looking at your own life right now and wondering if is this me? Is this is what's going on in your life right now? Is this is what's causing the mischief and chaos? Is this what's causing the relationship issues? Is this is what's causing the depression and the issues in my life at work and at home with family? Just saying.
It is very, very true. The enemy, even with these generational curses, there may be a demon that has been allowed from the curse to be placed and will monitor and be around every single one of those family members and just do whatever it can to destroy that family. It happens. It is scary. God has opened my spiritual eye. I have witnessed and seen it firsthand. It is not a fun thing seeing demons when they're affecting somebody. Oh, shoot, what happened?
Here you go.
Oh, shoot. Thought he was accidentally ending the stream. And so it's really scary because there's so many people that do not have the ability yet because they haven't been opened up to actually see the spiritual realm. It is so real. It is there. It is really scary that you could be sitting here just like Grizzly and I are, and there's literally a demon behind you messing with one of you. And then all of a sudden one of you's angry at the other one for nothing. Or, they do stuff like that. People just don't. They want to think, maybe it's just make believe. No, it's true. They do. Demons do not care. The enemy does not care. They will literally do anything to keep you from God and keep you in bondage forever.
And some of the movies that are around today, some of the horror movies depict that pretty good. How they can persuade and convince people to do certain things. Look at the Warrens, one of those movies to where the devil made me murder. I'm just saying, it actually happens. And Little Twisted says, people don't realize how real it is. It is real. Or we wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't real. So, hey, Mary Decker. How you doing, Mary? Nice to see you, girl. And that's why we wanted to bring that up, because a lot of people ask us questions about this, and it's a serious topic. A lot of people don't understand what they go through or what they grew up with and see what their parents went through, their uncles, their sisters, their aunts, cousins. It's around. It really is. So you just got to stop and think about things.
Very much so. When it comes to that, if you're not sure how to break it yourself, that's where you bring in assistance of people that do. Whether that be a priest, whether it is a spiritual healer, in their steps. And sometimes it could take a while to break it. It depends on how bad, God will break it, but you also have to have the intention in your heart and mind that you want it broke. It can't be lukewarm. It cannot be mediocre. I'm not sure. It cannot be anything like that. You have to be absolute 100% sure. I want this broke. I want God to break this for me. I no longer serve the enemy. I serve the Lord.
Yes, Reverend Wild Bill. They said to contact the Reverend Wild Bill at 1-800 call Bill. He'll fix it up with $9.95. He's probably got different techniques. So yes. Hey Jackie, welcome to the show. Nice to see you.
Wild Bill, have you ever had to do or deal with breaking or any exorcisms or casting out? I know I have.
Yeah, man, I couldn't tell you how many times I casted out and never caught any fish.
I'm talking about not fishing.
Casting out, reel it in. Cast it out, reel it in. Cast it out, reel it in.
Mary, we are talking about generational curses on lineage lines is what we've been discussing.
Well, I was talking about fishing.
I know, but she asked that, and I was answering her question.
I know. Any questions, Jackie, Mary, Lorna, the Reverend Wild Bill? I think the Reverend's typing right now, so we'll give him a second. He just looked up and he's like, what?
I didn't know if he's ever done it because it says Reverend.
Taka the Rev, and he appears. I know, right? He's like, did you call Grizzly? Mary, can you and Grizz assist people in breaking the curse? Yes, I actually have prayer books. I don't know if I can reach them right now. Special prayer books that I actually use to break generational curses. Because I have to do religions across all lines, not just Christianity, because people of all walks of life come to us. So yes, I do. But everything I do is through God, only through God, through source, and only the source through light to the highest purity, and that's it. I don't call on Buddha or Makahaka or none of that stuff. So I'm sorry. I don't call on Troy or anything else.
He said he has casted them out.
I have a few exorcisms and casting out bad spirits. See, I couldn't tell you how many birds' nests I caught with my little bait caster.
And it's not fun, guys, because the person that's casting out, it can come after them too. So
it did. It took me hours to do it. Didn't have to cut all the line out and redo it.
Oh,
it's a mess. That's why I carry extra fishing line with me. I do house cleansings. Yeah,
I've done
that's
too.
Yeah. I haven't done a house cleansing since I met you.
Really, I haven't done one in a few years.
Yeah,
it's been a hot minute.
Evidently, I've been scattered brain the past few days. Jackie, lay off the Kool-Aid. So she said, I don't drink Kool-Aid. Lorna, has anyone exorcist or casting out done? Now, I've never seen an exorcist done personally. Now, we talked to the chief exorcist in the United States. I can't remember his name. If you're watching, I'm sorry. And he had me.
Ron,
yeah, I think Ron something. He had me like glued to the screen because before we went live, he said that the movies does no justice. Let me repeat. The movies does no justice, the horror movies, to an actual exorcism. That's how bad it is.
It's not fun dealing with them. And demons, they are just absolutely awful. They are hideous looking. They are very pointy, decayed. They're gross. They stink. I mean, they smell is the worst smell. And again, that smell. Not everybody can smell it. It's when your spiritual senses are open. I mean, it makes you want to gag when they are around. They will literally stand over or be behind somebody, and they are literally playing that person like a puppet. And that's just oppression. When they go in their body, I mean, they will make someone destroy themselves. I have literally seen someone ripping their hair out of their scalp, their eyebrows, scratching themselves. Literally, it is not cool. That the chief exorcist that he's talking about, he said one that he went to do, it was so bad the lady bit her lip off while they were casting it out.
Bit her lip right off.
They will do that. And the thing about it is if oppression is bothering you, at some point, oppression becomes possession.
So yes,
if you don't stop it, if it's starting with oppression, it can go to the point where it goes completely in if that person allows it at some point. And that's where most people don't realize it. Demons will literally physically change someone's physical appearance. Their face will start to look demonic. Their face will sink in. Their eyes, they get dark circles. There's no brightness to them. Some people will go out and disfigure themselves with all kinds of things. What do you think's going on?
Right. Does anybody have any more questions? Ruby red lips, blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm about to kiss my heart goodbye. Gone once. Gone twice. Mary's like, we already did. But now. But hopefully I'll learn something tonight. And think about that, and your body starts dying. It does. Your body starts shutting down. It really does.
That's exactly what happens. That's why when a demon is affecting, they will age very quickly. They will get very sick. Their appearance changes. Like it will be somebody that you don't recognize anymore. And it can happen in a very short time span. It's very sad.
Some people are aware when they are possessed, and some are not. That is correct. It says, how can people contact you for help? It's real easy. They can reach us on the internet, on Facebook, or they can reach us at 976-274-975.
765.
765. There we go. 765-274-1961. There you go. So there we go. There's a phone number. So yes, absolutely. If we don't answer, we got a bunch of totes we got to go through tonight, whatnot. Just leave a voicemail or a text. We'll call you back when we can.
Sending a text is the quickest way. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully that helps. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight. Hopefully you learned something. And if you have any ideas for a show that you want us to cover or a suggestion, reach out, text it to us, or reach out on Facebook. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. We love to hear from people and the topics and questions that you have. We would, definitely like to help teach people and help you grow in your spiritual path and the purpose that God wants for you. Once you clear and you do the type of healing that is needed and referencing to Him, you can literally grow so much, and He will grow you and mold you into the person that you were meant to be. But when you're having all of this stuff hold you back, the chains of the enemy, it makes it very hard to step into the role that you were meant to.
Right. And it is. It's a lot of information. And your mind does go down rabbit holes. And maybe next show, maybe we'll toss in a couple of crystals to talk about how to help protect you with stuff. Because a lot of people's fascinated with crystals and like to learn. So from coast to coast, around the world, from our house to yours, we love you and Godspeed. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.